Alexander the Great.
This week.
That's Jenny. But that's not Jenny's dad. If she gets into that car, you may be looking at Jenny for the last time. I'm McGruff, the crime dog. Let me show you something. See that playground? A lot of kids there. Every day in this country, 60 kids disappear. Some run away, but a lot are kidnapped by strangers or even by people they know. Almost 20,000 kids a year. 20,000 kids, one kid at a time. Maybe your kid, on your street, just like Jenny. You know, your kids can learn to protect themselves against crime at home, at school, on the street. Hey, nice going, Jenny. She's going to tell her folks about this. And you can write to McGruff. Learn how to keep your family and your community safe and help take a bite out of crime.
The Waterbed Center wants to be your center for waterbed savings.
That's why the Waterbed Center has lowered the prices on every item in stock. Beds, sheets, pillows, everything from 40, 50, even 60% off. Complete waterbed starting as low as $129.95. Save $260 on a queen-size Alpine, now $239.95. Plus special closeout savings on the Plush 2, now $199.95.
Old Rip guarantees you'll never pay full retail again at the Waterbed Center.
The Waterbed Center, number 2 West Kennewick Avenue in Kennewick.
Hi, I'm Phil. And I'm Steve. This is Amy. She's looking for a donor for a kidney transplant, and we'd appreciate it if we could find one. But organs aren't all we need. Your generous donations will help all patients throughout the Central Washington State area. All these funds will stay in the Central Washington area to help these patients. So please send your money to the Central Washington Kidney Foundation. Thank you.
KBEW Channel 42, Kennewick.
Alexander the Great will continue on our Saturday Late Show following these brief messages.
2,500 years ago, the Greeks brought forth a system of government dedicated to the proposition that all citizens have equal rights. The landowner, for the very first time in history, met with the common laborer in free debate to resolve the problems of their state. Democracy was born, but it didn't last long. Perhaps because it was taken for granted. Only 200 years, and democracy disappeared from the face of the earth, to reemerge here 21 centuries later. Once again, the strong and the weak, the rich and the poor have an equal voice. For 200 years now, democracy has guided our own lives. Don't let it disappear again. Your vote will strengthen it. Your indifference may kill it.
A message from the Hellenic Heritage Foundation. Please write Democracy, Box 7448, New York 10150.
We return to Alexander the Great, starring Richard Burton and Frederick March.
I'm 18 now, so I got to get down to the post office. I'm special. Selective Service wants my name at the post office. They're not sending me away. They just might need my help someday. I'm taking the time to fill in the lines for Selective Service.
If you're a guy about to turn 18, you've got to register with Selective Service. Just go down to your local post office and fill out a card. It's no big deal. You're just adding your name to Selective Service's list.
Don't want to break nobody's law. No. Just got to go down and sign, that's all.
Come on down and register. It's quick, it's easy, and it's the law.
So get on down to the post office. Post office.
Continue with Richard Burton and Frederick March, starring in Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great will continue on our Saturday Late Show following these brief messages.
The time it's really here. Graduating, anticipating. So many places I could go, but it feels so good to be guarding the things so close to home.
The Army Guard's unique. I'm getting paid to protect my country and my state. What's close to me.
I help guard neighbors and people in my state. I like that.
That's the way I know to earn extra money. And my cousin in the Wisconsin Guard feels the same way. I learned new skills I can use in my regular job.
And all it takes is 2 weeks a year for annual trainings and 2 days a month, right near home.
Graduate to guarding all that's close to you. Guarding your country, state, and neighbors, and guarding your future too. The Guard is America at its best.
I'm not ready to go yet, okay? I'm not ready. You gotta wait. I got shit to do. I'm in the middle of something, all right? Just hold on.
Watch your mouth or don't come in here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, people, come on, we're adults here. You know what? What is the point?
Yeah, we're adults here. I got a fucking Burger King fucking thing on my head. We're all fucking adults here, guys. People in my chat, 2 words. What are they? 2 words. Let me see the chat flood. Let me see the chat flood. 2 words. Okay, next caller. Please. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which translate in American to dick and balls.
I got flip-flops. These are my flip-flops. Yeah, I really like my flip-flops because I can put them on. Because look, watch me put them on. I can put them on all by myself. Watch me put them on. Look, are you watching? Look, these are my flip-flops.
Thanksgiving Day. I remember it clearly. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was inserting myself in somebody else's fucking business as a cash grab, and you know.
This channel is harsh reality.
Karen Yak se jodió la sucia vida. Amen.
This is Jonathan Lee Bridges. I have cheeseburgers. I'm gonna put cheese on them. I'm gonna make sure that I have my hamburgers because I'm a big boy now and I can make the hamburgers. My mom lets me use the stove now.
And I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like they had evidence to back up everything they said, and I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like this can't. No, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like that's what made it even crazier. Like,
yeah, get it, Betty. Yeah,
did you have a close relationship with your mom?
Get it, Betty.
Oh, of course, I still do.
Yeah.
My older sister was kind of sad. She was more of the prissy girl, like
that is the best shit fucking
shopping for dresses with mommy. I was the tomboy that liked playing with the kids.
Shout out to Cherry for just being just easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had. That someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot. And yes, I named him after Mr. T and Rocky. Say, woman. Say, woman. Say, woman. Since your old man ain't got no heart, why don't you come down to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this little dude. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. Oh, say bye. Say bye. Oh, I love you too. Give me a kiss. Oh, I love you. Bye, guys.
Woo! My goodness, people, what is going on? No, seriously, like what is going on? What in the hell is happening right now? Geez. Real quick, let me knock this out. Team Brittany, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Stifler's Mom, Good Citizen, KB All Day, Linda Walker, and Tim Keenan. Awesome. Congrats, guys. Thank you, Team Brittany. As always, you're amazing. Dude, yeah, I know, Em. It is crazy, bro. I mean, dude, this this yellow Mello dude, man, he's a wild card, isn't he? Who knows? Clever. Come on, man. Dude. Thank you. I mean, I know he's gonna make noise again. Like, he got himself a broom. I like the broom, like I didn't even care. I was like, dude, whatever. Like, you want to like tear up a broom? I don't care, bro. I'll get another one. I don't have the patience right now to worry about it. But oh yeah, man, I love that there's some mixed feelings in the chat. That's good stuff. Obviously, you guys who are cheering for Mello weren't here for all of the stuff that I went over as far as his career goes. I dare you to find one review on Ken Mello online. I dare you. Good luck, because they don't exist. So yeah, man. I hope everybody is having a wonderful week so far. I know that tomorrow we have Turtle Boy has the civil case, a hearing in regards to a civil case, and I guess, whatever. I'll go over that and talk about whatever happens tomorrow. I mean, who knows what's going to happen? It might just be a big nothing burger. But I'm going to discuss that. And right now, I mean, I wasn't even sure if I was going to do a live tonight. And then everything just came in like all at once. And are you good, bro? Are you good? I know I love you too, buddy, but you're making too much noise, homie. Dude, I know. I'm gonna have to put you in the other room so I can concentrate if you keep it up. Can you find something less noisy to chew on and play with? Please? I would really appreciate it. Team Brittany gifted 5 more memberships. Thank you so much. Let's see. G Puck, Heidi Costa, Michelle Bowling, Double D Dorothy. You win handle of the day. Wow, Double D Dorothy wins handle of the day. Okay, so I'm just kind of scrolling through my phone, checking out Twitter. I get a DM from Sleuthy, who says, "Did you see Jesus, I forget his name. Anal Bleeds, whatever his name is. Grant. Did you see his latest tweet?" And I read it up until it just started with the weird turtle hating bashing. And it was interesting to see what I saw. And I saw some screenshots, and then I got a hold of the this right here. Now there's some phone numbers on here that I'm going to try to avoid. So I mean, I'm just going to show you. This is what I'm reading from. I have it. It's this latest motion from Ken Mello, and I'm going to go ahead and read this, but I'm going to take it off the screen because it's got a bunch of phone numbers on it. But let's try to make some sense of it, because I thumbed through it. As usual, I like to discover these things as I'm talking to you guys. And let's see. So apparently Ken Mello filed this motion, says the Commonwealth's motion for remedial orders and sanctions. Now I can't see the chat right now, so I apologize. So if you're saying something totally informative and you know, something that is so necessary for me to highlight, unfortunately I won't be able to see it. Now it says here, now comes the Commonwealth and respectfully moves this honorable court to issue remedial orders relative to the defendant's outside communications from the Norfolk County Jail and or any jail facility at which the defendant, Aiden Carney, aka Turtle Boy, is held during the pendency of this matter, and that the defendant's counsel of record, Timothy J. Bradel, be ordered to pay monetary sanctions to the court in the amount of $10,000 due to counsel's egregious conduct as set forth below, and his willful and intentional violation of the attorney's oath of office wherein he swore to do no falsehood, as required pursuant to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 221, Section 38. I mean, like, first of all, let's just say Bradel lied, okay? I mean, how many times has Ken Mello lied? Can he be sanctioned? Can he be fined $10,000 for all of his lies so far? I find that interesting. As grounds, therefore, the Commonwealth states the following. On December 23rd, 2023, the defendant was arraigned in this matter, this court, and was released with bail warnings. On December 26, 2023, the defendant was arraigned on new charges of intimidation of a witness and assault and battery on a family or household member in the Dedham District Court, relative to an incident that occurred on December 24th, 2023. Following a hearing on that date, the court, McCallum J., acting pursuant to GLC 276, Section 58, determined inter alia that the defendant poses a danger to the community and is unable to comply with his conditions of release, and revoked the defendant's bail in the Superior Court matters. See Commonwealth's motion to revoke bail pursuant blah, 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 blah. The defendant was then remanded to the Norfolk County Jail. Defendants held in custody at the Norfolk County Jail are generally afforded the privilege of communicating with parties outside of the jail by use of tablets, telephones, and or other electronic devices provided by the jail. All such communications are recorded and subject to monitoring, as the case may be, for security reasons, by jail officials or a contracted outside vendor, in this case, Securus, except for communications and telephone calls between defendants and their respective attorneys, which are neither monitored nor recorded. On December 28, 2023, Attorney Timothy Bradel, one second, guys, sorry. Very sorry about that. So I'm going to read that part one more time. Defendants held in custody at Norfolk County Jail are generally afforded the privilege of communicating with parties outside of the jail by use of tablets, telephones, and or other electronic devices provided by the jail. All such communications are recorded and subject to monitoring, as the case may be, for security reasons by jail officials or a contracted outside vendor, except for communications and telephone calls between defendants and their respective attorneys, which are neither monitored nor recorded, which is due to the right of attorney-client privilege. On December 28th, 2023, Attorney Timothy Bradel, the defendant's counsel of record in this matter, placed a telephone call to Captain Stephen Linsky of the Norfolk County Sheriff's Office Investigative Unit and left the following voicemail. Now, I don't have a recording of this voicemail, folks, but I'm going to read what Ken Mello's transcript of this recording says. Says, hey, Captain Linsky, it's attorney Tim Bradel again, calling about Aidan Carney phone numbers for the legal team here. There's a couple more. I'll just give them to you, and you can call me back if you need anything else. Jennifer Altman, ALTMAN, she's an attorney. And it's in parentheses saying emphasis added, and she's an attorney is in bold, bold and caps. Courtney Healy, paralegal. My numbers are, so I'm Tim Bradel, BRADL. My numbers are blank, and my cell also blank. Would also appreciate you putting them on as well. Thank you so much, and please give me a call to confirm that last cell number I just gave you. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. So if that is accurate, if that recording, if that transcript is accurate, he did indeed say she is an attorney, that Jennifer Altman is an attorney. I don't know who Jennifer Altman is. I'm going to have to look at that real quick here. Let me see something. Yeah, I don't have her. I don't know who Jennifer Altman is. So it goes on to say, see correspondence dated January 12th, 2024 from Captain Linsky to ADS William Castile. On the following morning, December 29th, 2023, Captain Linsky called Attorney Bradel to confirm that he had entered the requested phone numbers as privileged legal unrecorded call numbers in the instructional phone system. At all times relevant here too, Attorney Bradel was aware that Jennifer Altman was not and has never been an attorney. In fact, Jennifer Altman is widely known to be a follower and minion of the defendant, who publishes numerous blogs under various pseudonyms, including Turtle Boy, known as a quote-unquote turtle writer. Altman is also an administrator of one or more Facebook pages and or internet blogs belonging to or created by the defendant. Over 60 unrecorded privileged telephone calls were held between the defendant and Altman during the period of December 28th, 2023 and January 12th, 2024, before it was discovered that Jennifer Altman was not an attorney and that Attorney Bradel had blatantly lied to jail officials regarding her status. It is readily evident that Attorney Bradel, the defendant, and Jennifer Altman conspired to circumvent the rules and regulations of the Norfolk County Jail pertaining to outside communications and privileged attorney-client communications. Now, that's interesting. How do you know that if you don't have any recorded phone calls of Attorney Bradel and Turtle Boy and or of Jennifer Altman and Turtle Boy? So how can you say that this was a conspiracy between these three to circumvent the rules and regulations of the jail? Unreal. The Commonwealth contends that Attorney Bradel's conduct constitutes an outrageous and egregious violation of professional ethics and was designed to afford the defendant the means to communicate with his followers and to continue to vicariously harass and intimidate. And to direct his turtle riders to intimidate and harass his victims directly and or indirectly via the internet and possibly by other means. This is unbelievable. The Commonwealth further contends that the defendant, Attorney Bradel, and the defendant's followers have demonstrated by their extraordinary and seemingly unprecedented dishonest actions that they are likely in the future to devise and employ any scheme possible to circumvent the restrictions on the defendant's communications and to enable the defendant to engage in further intimidation of witnesses and other parties while he is being held in jail. Accordingly, the Commonwealth moves this honorable court take whatever actions the court deems appropriate and to issue the following remedial orders in this matter. 1, the Norfolk County Sheriff's Office be ordered to revoke the defendant's privilege of communicating with parties other than his counsel of record via tablet, telephone, and other electronic means until further order of the court. Okay, translation, it means stop him from writing. 2, that the court appoint an independent attorney or master who will only report to the court to monitor all communications between the defendant and Attorney Bradel to ensure that Attorney Bradel is not making his telephone available to third parties or is not engaging in communications with the defendant that will be transmitted to third parties in yet another attempt to circumvent the security restrictions identified above. The Commonwealth acknowledges that this request is extraordinary and perhaps unprecedented, but states that Attorney Bradel has proven that he will likely attempt to continue to engage in similar unethical practices in the future, such as possibly baking a cake with a fucking file in it and having it mailed and FedExed into the jail. The attorney, that attorney Timothy J. Bradel be ordered to pay monetary sanctions to the court in the amount of $10,000. And 4, that the court issues such further orders as the court deems reasonable and necessary, and that the court report this matter to any and all authorities that the court finds appropriate for other action or for further action or investigation. Wow. Okay. So, a lot of stuff to unpack there, folks. A lot of stuff to unpack there. So let's start with let's see. Bradel lying. I mean, if Jennifer Altman is not an attorney, if she I mean, I don't know what the standards are, right? I mean, so I mean, if she's not an attorney, then you know this could be absolutely construed as a lie. As I understand it, I have no official statement from Bradel just yet. Not that he would give that to me. I'm just saying I don't have one to give you at the moment. But I'm saying that he, from what I hear, he's saying that it's a mistake. Okay. All right. But let's just chalk it up to a mistake. Let's chalk it up to a little white lie even. Let's chalk it up to a major lie, like a big lie, right? Let's say it's a big lie. Patty K, thank you so much. Team Totalitarian, Ken Totalitarian Mello over here. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, this dude is the anti-liberty. I mean, this dude is awful. Like, this is the most un-American fucking lawyer I have ever dealt with as far as what I've been looking into. Insane. Like, brazen as fuck. So it's just insane. I sorry. I'm still kind of reacting here, so I'm still kind of blown away at what I'm looking at and what I'm hearing. So let's just say it's this blatant lie, right? Does that merit such an insane? Does that merit such an insane sanction? Does that merit such an insane motion to basically rob him of his attorney-client privilege? Which brings me to this next point here, because it says here, I'm going to read this one more time. Says here, okay, accordingly, the Commonwealth moves the Honorable Court take whatever actions the court deems appropriate and to issue the following remedial orders in this matter. One being that the Norfolk County Sheriff's Office be ordered to revoke the defendant's privilege of communicating with parties other than his counsel of record via tablet, telephone, or other electronic means until further order of the court. Now, that to me is, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm going to say a couple things that some of you may not like. That to me is not a violation of rights. I think that is a luxury, a privilege. I've never heard of you being able to be in jail and sit there and just chill on social media while you're in jail. Never heard of that. I was surprised to find out that Turtle Boy was able to do this. When I first heard that he could do this, I was surprised. I was like, what? I never heard of anybody being able to tweet from jail or write and email and do these things. I figured you were just allowed to talk on the phone. Clever, you're killing me, buddy. Serious. What do you got there? What are you chewing on? Come here. Let me see. Okay. Yeah, you're good. That's what that's for. So yeah, so I mean, it'll be a bummer, but I'm not going to say that it's necessarily, I'm going to say that it would be unfair, because I don't see why that has to do with, how does that have anything to do with Bradel talking about this Jennifer Altman being lying about being a lawyer, or him lying about her being a lawyer? I don't see how one thing has anything to do with the other. As a matter of fact, the way that I see this, ultimately, the way that I see this is just another desperate method being used to shut Turtle Boy up. And I think that that's all this is about. He figures he can kill two birds with one stone. He can intimidate and bully Bradel out of, and basically bully Turtle Boy out of counsel. I think that that's one method that Ken Mello is adopting here. It just stinks of his actions in the past. Again, this just looks like another way to shut Turtle Boy up. I mean, it's these articles and probably the interpretation of these letters were infuriating. The most recent writing, the most recent blog Turtle Boy just released is probably the most infuriating to the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office. So, I mean, I find the timing of that very convenient, that all of a sudden, I mean, this happened when? December 26th? Or is this when he's saying that happened? Let's see. December 28th, excuse me. So December 28th, you know, this all took place, and then Ken Mello decides to file a motion the day after Turtle Boy writes a blog as far as his interpretation of those 8 letters and correspondence between Morrissey's office and the U.S. Attorney's office, and the and whatever the fucking HR department of that. I keep forgetting what they're called again. But sorry, I'm checking chat here to see what you guys are saying as far as updates go, if you guys see anything. But see, the thing is I just don't I don't see the judge. I don't see the judge ruling in the favor of this motion and allowing this motion to go through. I just don't see that. It's completely unconstitutional. I mean, the only reason that Turtle Boy is in jail right now, as well as the Canton Nine having charges, is under a law that exists, a law that I fully believe is absolutely unconstitutional. And that's the only reason he was able to get that he was sorry, I'm distracted by chat here and there, but that he was even able to get that he was even able to get these charges passed on the Canton Nine and Turtle Boy. What's up, buddy? So just, I mean, the law itself exists. So it's going to have to be Bradle and Turtle Boy and the Canton Nine attorneys taking on that law. Because the fact is that law does exist, and they did technically break the law, as I've stated before. Like I said, also, again, that law itself is unconstitutional. So now what really, really gets me here is what he suggests the judge do, which to me is insane. I think it's absolutely insane. Which is that they want, Ken Mello wants that the court appoint an independent attorney or master who will only report to the court to monitor all communications between the defendant and Attorney Bradle to ensure that Attorney Bradle is not making his telephone available to third parties or is not engaging in communications with the defendant that will be transmitted to third parties in yet another attempt to circumvent the security restrictions identified above. How is that not an absolute blatant violation if this is passed of attorney-client privilege? I don't understand how that's even I'm blown away that Ken Mello had the audacity to even file this thing, because he even acknowledges himself. He says, "This is, I realize it's possibly even unprecedented, that it's never been done." Even Grant Anal Bleeds Ellis said himself that it's never been done in history. It's never been done. So you're going to tell me that this, I mean, this Charlie Brown of an attorney, and by Charlie Brown, I mean just a fucking loser. Why is everybody always picking on me? Nothing ever goes right for him. He doesn't do jack shit ever the right way. And you're going to tell me that this guy is going to pass a motion? He's going to have a motion approved by the judge that's never been probably even drafted, even filed. I mean, right. Microdots, I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I don't. This is totally insane. Like, I don't think that Ken Mello has to know that he's never going to get this passed by a judge. He has to know that. I mean, I can't imagine. I can't wait to hear what other attorneys have to say about this. I can't wait to hear what. But the thing is none of the other attorneys on YouTube are actually covering Turtle Boy, except for maybe Dave from Making Law Simple. And nobody else is covering Turtle Boy because they don't feel that they're connected. But I assure you that they are, and I'll tell you why they are. I'll show you exactly why they are. So Ted Daniel of Boston 25 tweeted this. Norfolk County Special Prosecutor Ken Mello just confirmed for me that MSP, Massachusetts State Police, big shocker, seized 2 phones from Karen Reed today related to the investigation Mello is running into allegations of witness intimidation. Okay. So I'm going to read that one more time. Norfolk County Special Prosecutor Ken Mello, Special Prosecutor Ken Mello, just confirmed for me that MSP seized 2 phones from Karen Reed today related to the investigation Mello is running into allegations of witness intimidation. And so someone said just today, because I mean, when I read that, I was like, well, I mean, that's got to be old, right? That's got to be old, you know? But no, it's not old. This happened today. And Ted Daniels' response to the person who asked that says this is not the murder investigation. It's a separate case connected to Aiden Carney. So I'm fascinated by this. I'm fascinated by this because those who think that the Karen Reed, John O'Keefe case are not connected, I mean, they're absolutely connected. Or the Karen Reed, John O'Keefe case and Turtle Boy's case are not connected. They're absolutely connected. Because I mean, why would Detective Tully, who's working both cases, and Turtle Boy, who lives in a different town, why would he? Sorry, give me 1 second here. Why would he be there when Turtle Boy? Why would Tully be there when Turtle Boy is being handcuffed and his electronics are being seized? I find that interesting. Give me 1 second here. Somebody just sent me something else. And this would be Boston 25's news report on this. So let's see what we got here.
in breaking news right now, we have learned Massachusetts State Police seized 2 phones from Karen Reed today.
The new seizure is not directly tied to her murder case. She's accused of killing her boyfriend of 2 years, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. It stems from a separate witness intimidation investigation
Look at this dickhead.
being conducted by the Norfolk County Special Prosecutor Ken Mello. Mello has already made 1 arrest in his probe. A grand jury run by Mello indicted Aiden Carney in December. Carney is the blogger who calls himself Turtle Boy. He faces numerous counts of witness intimidation and other charges.
Boosters that came on the market last year.
Okay, I guess that's it.
47 of them received.
All right, mute. So, I mean, I guess that's all there is, really. Hold on. All right, so Reed is charged with second-degree murder in the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. She is accused of backing over O'Keefe and leaving him to die in January 2022, blizzard outside a home in Canton. Her lawyers claim she's been framed in a cover-up, but the seizure of Reed's phones Wednesday is separate from the murder prosecution. It stems from Mello's probe into allegations of witness intimidation. Mello did not provide additional details on Wednesday. Mello has already made 1 arrest in his probe. A grand jury run by Mello indicted Aiden Carney in December. Carney is the blogger who calls himself Turtle Boy. He faces numerous counts of witness intimidation and other charges. This is a developing story. Check back for updates. More information becomes available. Okay, so this is absolutely fascinating. So I guess what they're trying to find out, if I had to guess, if they're seizing Karen Reed's phones, they're trying to find out if she is in direct contact with Turtle Boy. I guess they're trying to prove that maybe Turtle Boy would be possibly under Karen Reed's defense team's employ or Karen Reed's employ, which that would make that. I don't know anything about that. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't really care, if I'm being totally honest. I mean, I don't really know if this is in effect somehow a way to prove that they are tainting the jury pool. If so, there's a problem. There's definitely a problem there. Now, I think that's what they're going to go for. I think that's absolutely what they're going to try to go for. And I have heard Turtle Boy himself state more than once, several times, that he is not in contact with Karen Reed. On one occasion, I heard him say that he tried to contact Karen Reed and never got a response, if I understand that correctly, if I'm remembering that correctly. Don't quote me on that. I just feel like I heard him say that watching one of his streams. Now, and there was a new filing about Bradle today, or from Bradle about Aiden today. Okay, that's interesting. Now, if that's the truth, if it comes out, and I know a lot of you guys aren't going to like this, but if it comes out that Turtle Boy is in fact consciously and everything that he's doing is in fact a direct attempt to taint the jury pool, then I would put him in that same category as the dirty tricks that the prosecution has played this entire time. Sorry, but that's the facts. I have always stated, and I state to this day, that I believe in due process. I am here covering this case in defense of due process. I want to be very clear about that. Okay? So if he is
playing dirty, just like the prosecution's playing dirty, I can't get behind that. But I would think, and I'd like to think, that Turtle Boy just is not that stupid. I would like to think that Karen Reed is not that stupid, because all you would need, I would like to think that her defense team is not that stupid, because again, all you would need to simply, if this went to trial, all you would simply need is to create doubt in one juror. And there is so much that you can actually use in a trial to convince a jury that there is doubt. So much. And it's simply just how the Massachusetts State Police has conducted their investigation, how the Norfolk County DA's office has approved this investigation and was willing to use the evidence collected nefariously, in my opinion, by the Massachusetts State Police in order to try to get Karen Reed convicted. I absolutely believe that. So I don't think it's necessary to have to play dirty and do things of that nature and involve yourself in that way. You could never get me to do that in a million years. You could never, ever, 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 ever get me to do something like that in a million fucking years. I am a patriot and I'm an American and I follow true crime cases because I truly, genuinely believe in due process and I believe in our system. I don't believe in everyone who is involved in the system, but I believe in the system itself and what it's designed to do. So, what are you doing, buddy? Okay. Now, we're going to find out what's going on here. But see, here's my theory, though, so far. My theory, if you consider everything else leading up to, and I'm talking about Turtle Boy's case and Ken Mello being the special prosecutor, if you look at all of the stuff leading up to this, this could be construed and interpreted as nothing different than the other tactics leading up to this. It seems straight up like another way to just shut Turtle Boy up. And it's a desperation on the prosecution to not just Ken Mello, but Lolly as well. Because you've got to understand, you got to look at the timing here. Use your eyes, people. Look at the timing. Those letters just came out, what, yesterday? Or the night before last? Those letters just came out. Think about that. It came out the night before last. I went live yesterday morning or early afternoon to discuss it, to discuss the letters. They're very, very fresh. And you're going to tell me that it's just a coincidence that this is all happening now? Elaine, thank you so much. Love your patriotism, the glare, always a voice of reason. Oh, and also many nights of hilarity. Appreciate you and what you do here. That means a lot, Elaine. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So I mean, I believe that Karen Reed is innocent. And the reason why I believe Karen Reed is innocent is based on the investigation that was conducted by the Massachusetts State Police. Nothing else. Not anyone's tweets, not anybody on social media, nothing. Nothing other than how I have seen the evidence presented or the evidence that collected by the Massachusetts State Police. Okay, hold on one second here, folks. Okay. Thank you, Cherry. Appreciate it. Cherry coming through as always. No, this is not. That's not that. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. False alarm. Now, yeah, the thing is I just don't buy this, man. Like, I don't buy the this is all the timing is way too convenient. As always, the timing is way too convenient. Yeah, he's totally clever. Come on, buddy. Hey, clever. Hey, stop. Come here. Why do you always pick the noisiest thing to chew on, dude? I love you, but you're always doing that. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry about that, guys. Clever is extra hyper today, so that might happen more than once, or more than twice. So I apologize in advance. So what I'm seeing, I mean, it's abundantly clear at this point that the DA is definitely being investigated, or at least the DA's office is being investigated by the Department of Justice. There's absolutely, I mean, we went over this. It's a fact. It is an absolute fact that Michael Morrissey's office, the Norfolk County DA's office, is being investigated by the Department of Justice. And that it's been said that they are not in good conscience not going to be allowed to allow Karen Reed's case to go to trial. I find that interesting, that all of a sudden this is happening because Karen Reed's phones have now been seized. So I think this is all about two things: shutting Turtle Boy up, but more importantly, trying to prove that Karen Reed's defense team has attempted to taint the jury pool. And so now it seems desperate to me. It seems absolutely desperate. Again, since this so-called phone call from Tim Bradel took place on December 28th, I mean, he had weeks to file this motion. He had weeks. That's exactly what I'm saying, Todd. They don't have anything else. They know that their case against Karen Reed is screwed. So at this point, they don't have any other choice but to dig deep and figure out what else can we get Karen Reed with. And you have to understand, folks. I mean, if the Department of Justice is investigating the DA's office and they're investigating the investigation, if they are investigating the investigation, okay, then that means that they're investigating both sides. It means that they're looking into everything. They're looking into not just Michael Morrissey's office, but they're going to look at the tactics from Jackson and Yannetti. So, I mean, this you got to take the bad with the good, folks. It's just how it is. Now, I hope I'm with you guys in the sense that I hope, and I don't believe, at least not yet, that Turtle Boy, Karen Reed, and especially Jackson and Yannetti would be so stupid as to taint the jury pool in such a blatant and easily proven manner. I mean, so yeah, it is a big ridiculous circus. It really is. And the one person who's been lost in all of this is John O'Keefe. And that is something that really bothers me. Now, I don't think that John O'Keefe is actually lost in all of this. I just think that there are so many things that are distracting from him directly getting justice that we forget. And I know we're doing the best that we can to keep his memory alive and out there. I know that the anniversary of his death is coming up, and people have put together a vigil, and I think that that's beautiful. And honestly, people are saying, "Oh my God, it's such a terrible thing," because the family doesn't approve of it. Well, I mean, these people have every right. These people are fighting for John O'Keefe's justice. These people are fighting for his justice. And you're going to sit here and accuse these people of doing this for nefarious reasons of some sort. And then when they go and they actually do something to keep his name alive and keep his face and name alive out there, you're going to criticize them, criticize these people for that too. And I think that that's ridiculous. Clubber, you're killing me, buddy. You're way too hyper right now. I mean, you're reaching now, bro. What if Karen Aiden, what if Karen went into the house too? Yeah, no, I don't think that I don't think that happened. I really don't. No, and I do support Turtle Boy. I do absolutely support Turtle Boy. But I'm just telling you right now, I'm being completely honest, that if it turns out that he deliberately tried to taint the jury pool, I'm going to have to reevaluate. I mean, sorry if that's a hard pill to swallow, but I have made it abundantly clear from the beginning that I am here because I am here as a patriot, because I believe in due process. I have said many times that even if Karen Reed is guilty, she deserves to walk free because her rights were absolutely violated based on the investigation conducted by the Massachusetts State Police and the dirty tactics applied by the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office since she was charged. So, bottom line, as far as my convictions and my beliefs go, nobody is impervious to that. Nobody. I don't give a fuck how, I don't give a fuck who you are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. When it comes to people's rights, that is something that I am always going to stand behind. Karen Reed has a right to a fair trial, to a speedy trial. But the people of Massachusetts of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, as well as John O'Keefe and his loved ones, especially John O'Keefe and his loved ones, deserve justice for John O'Keefe. And if you're tainting the jury pool, then you are cheating John O'Keefe out of justice. That is, there's no other way. There's no other way to put it. Now, I mean, they might be muddying the jury pool, but here's the thing, you guys. I don't believe that they're doing it deliberately. I don't think that that's the. Hold on. Okay, 1 second, guys. Sorry, this will be the last one. Okay, now you might hear Clubber whining once. Okay, sorry, folks. You might hear Clubber whining a little bit, but I need to be able to concentrate here. So, I don't think that any of these people would be stupid enough to deliberately taint the jury pool, especially if they do it to a degree that somebody as fucking simple as Ken Mello would be able to prove it. This guy can't do anything right. So that's another reason why I think this is all bullshit, because the guy's track record is the worst. I mean, Ken Mello is just known for being incompetent. Microdot says, I think Morrissey's statement was a much greater deliberate tainting because he's the DA and public official. Sure. Okay, what am I looking at here? You give me 1 second here, guys. Hold on. Lori, thank you so much. Much respect, Larry. I admire your patriotism. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. How reliable is this source? Cherry. Sorry, guys. I appreciate your patience. How reliable is this source? Where did this come from? How reliable? Tell me in the DMs. Where did you get it? I need to know if I should feel comfortable sharing this or not. Tell me in the DMs. Don't tell me in the chat. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. Thank you, Jen Kitty. I appreciate you too. Okay. All right. So again, I take these with a grain of salt. Okay. And I'm guessing now the way this looks, it's a text it's a text thread between what it's supposed to be Jennifer and Bradle. So what it says here is Jen saying, Tim, I told you twice I'm not an attorney. And Tim says, no, I know you did, but wasn't that after the call? I was just confused about it. It was an honest mistake. I would have had you under a paralegal for the team anyway, if I had it in my mind that you weren't an attorney. It was on the call, and then you asked again, and I said no. And then when the jail called me and I asked, I made it clear I wasn't an attorney. Okay. So this should be easily proven then, if this is the case. It was on the call, and then you asked again, and I said no. And then when the jail asked me, and I asked, I made it clear I wasn't an attorney. Okay. Now, hold on. Let me go to the next one here. Give me 1 second. And then it says here, Jen says, those 60 plus calls are to Courtney, not me. I'm working on something to fix it to be filed tomorrow. Not sure what you mean, but it was on the call. When you and me and Courtney had a call, I've had 2 or 3 calls with Aiden the entire time he's been in prison. I have not spoken to him 60 times. That's Courtney. I don't know who Courtney is. Sorry, it was just an honest mistake. For some reason, I had hooked you up in my mind with, and that's all I've got here. So, if this is accurate, if that's a genuine text message, if that is, hold on. Okay. Okay. Supposedly, yeah, I mean, this is from
Altman, apparently she apparently Altman I mean, if these are real, then Altman had to have taken the screenshots. I doubt very much that Tim Bradel would take screenshots of those and share them with anyone. But I don't see. Now, I don't know what's going on here. Okay, this is all very, very strange to me. But what it looks like to me is simply that Tim states that she told him that she was not an attorney, but he believes that it took place after he had spoken to the sheriff's department. So, and he says he was just confused about it, and it was an honest mistake. People make honest mistakes. I don't see Bradel doing something so careless as to do. I mean, what is there to gain by that? You know what I mean? Why would he risk putting himself in such an awkward position with the courts, especially when Bradel's entire case is proving that not only is the Norfolk County District Attorney doing everything they can to silence Turtle Boy and discredit him, but that Ken Mello is basically the muscle in doing so. So why would he not act as though anything that he does could be subject to Ken Mello getting a hold of it, twisting it, and using and weaponizing it against Turtle Boy? Why would he not assume that to be the case immediately? So I mean, so yeah, I if Bradel is saying that it was a mistake, then I believe that it's a mistake. I don't see why he would deliberately do something like that, knowing that his entire case is based on the idea of him trying to prove that his rights, that Turtle Boy's First Amendment rights, are absolutely are absolutely being violated. So I don't see it. I just don't see it. I don't see Bradel and Turtle Boy and Jen Altman conspiring to plot to harass witnesses. I just don't get it. I mean, yeah, but that doesn't really apply here, you know? That doesn't really apply here. This isn't like Turtle Boy going, well, if Biden can say that he's a doctor, well, then I'm a doctor too. That's a big joke. But that doesn't apply here. You can't just claim to be an attorney in order to get attorney-client privilege. I believe. Otherwise, I don't think Bradel would be as worried about it as he seems to be in these text threads. I don't see how. Oh, okay, Deets. Okay, 1 second. Okay. So Deets just shared this with me. Let me see if.
Okay, thank you, Cherry. I'm going to share those too. So I'm getting stuff as they come in, so I apologize, guys. But I appreciate you guys being here. So let's see here. So this is looks like a Facebook post from Jennifer Altman saying, please stop sending me this bullshit. I've never claimed to be an attorney. I've spoken to Aiden 3 times since he's been in jail. I have zero access to anything, Turtle Boy. This tells me that this text thread is absolutely genuine. I have zero access to anything, Turtle Boy. I did have unrestricted calls, and when the jail called me to question, I made it clear I wasn't an attorney, and so they took me off restricted calls. Bradel misspoke. This is bullshit and just lies. This is all I'm going to say. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good for you. So let me move on to the stuff here that Cherry sent me. Let me see what it says here. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Oh, no, not that. All right. So this is another post. Yeah, it wasn't me, people. I've talked to Aiden 3 times in jail. Here is an admittance from Bradel that he misunderstood based on my last name. Tell the trolls to go fuck themselves. I've done nothing wrong. That's what I'm saying. I mean, leave her alone. No, I know you did, but it wasn't after the call. It wasn't just confused about it. It's an honest mistake. I already read that. And you did the right thing. They called and you said that you weren't an attorney. And then she said, nope. And when the jail called me, I made it clear I was not an attorney, and they said my calls would now be monitored, and that was fine. If I had it in my head that you were not an attorney, I would have asked to have you under a, I don't know what that, I don't know if that's the next one or whatever. I've spoken to Aiden maybe 3 times since he's been in jail. No trouble. It was my mistake. You were called about it, and you corrected it. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm gonna refrain from sharing any more of these, only because there's some personal stuff there that seems like okay, so you sent that. Okay, that's 2 of the same screenshot. Okay, yeah. Don't know who Courtney is, don't care. None of my business, none of your business. So right. I mean, it sounds to me I mean, it's not that serious, you know, like I feel like this could easily be cleared up in court. You know what I mean? Like I no, I don't think Courtney is I don't know if Courtney is Bradel's paralegal. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Right. That's what I'm thinking, Microdots. I mean, to me, this just all smells like more Ken Mello bullshit. More tactics, desperate tactics. I mean, the fact is Turtle Boy is currently in jail right now based on a technicality. A technicality. He violated bail. He was, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. He was clearly set up because this woman admitted in court that she was contacted by Ken Mello and Detective Tully. Okay? She was contacted, and she even admits that they told her to lure him to her home. So it's like, I mean, to me, this is just again an absolute fishing expedition. And I think the overall goal here is to get Karen Reed charged with and get Jackson and Yannetti booted off of the case for jury tampering, for tainting the jury pool. I think that's the entire motive behind this entire thing. And it's weak. It's weak. Now I'm curious. I mean, you got me curious. Bottom line is there's no way that any of us are going to be not curious about what happens in terms of what they find or don't find on Karen Reed's phones. But I truly believe that it is a desperate attempt. It is a desperate attempt to gasp one last breath in this case, because this case, Karen Reed's case, is this close to being thrown out of court. And she is this close to walking free. So, and they don't want that to happen. Again, why don't they want that to happen? Because if once Karen Reed is exonerated, we, the public, are going to still demand justice for John O'Keefe. And if we are demanding justice for John O'Keefe, there's only one other place to look to get that justice, and that is inside 34 Fairview, those people who were there on the morning of January 29th, 2023. So yeah, good point, Dietz. 2022. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, 2022. Wow, look at that. I guess you better charge me with a crime. I guess we need to take all of my tech and cut me off from any communication with the rest of you guys because I got the year wrong in my head. I made a very simple mistake. But Dietz made a good point here. I bet they'll have that info faster than the defense getting the rest of the discovery. Yeah. I'm gonna double down on that bet. Yes, you're all I have tainted the court of public opinion now. I mean, again, people, Ken Mello is the guy. Okay? Ken Mello is the guy to pull this brazen shit because it doesn't matter. That guy's career is fucked. So if he gets disbarred, he doesn't give a fuck. You think that it's a coincidence? You think that it's a coincidence that it's just a whatever, a dismissible fact that Ken Mello was chosen as a special prosecutor by the DA I mean, is that supposed to be funny? You can't find one review of this guy online. You can't find one fucking review of this guy online. Think about that. This guy's been reprimanded twice that we know of. He's been reprimanded by the bar twice that we know of. This guy is already this close to losing his law practice. He's this close. A law practice in which he doesn't seem to really give a shit about. He's notorious for losing cases. He is notorious for losing cases. And why does he lose cases? What's his MO? Not doing anything, like not doing jack shit, just blowing cases off, taking people's retainers, putting in a little bit of work, and then fading away into the mist. And then his clients are like, where's my lawyer? What the hell happened with my lawyer? This is a very common thing for Ken Mello. Well, he's active in this case because he's the special prosecutor. This puts his name all over newspapers online and in news stories, news segments. The guy's face and name is everywhere. The guy never says no to an interview. Guy never says no comment. Think about it. The toe wants to be just like the thumb. Yeah, this is absolutely fascinating. I mean, this is abundantly clear to me. This is abundantly clear to me that this is all just another tactic. And again, this right here is proof right here. Because people are saying, oh, well, the Turtle Boy, that has nothing to do with it. Turtle Boy is a criminal and blah, blah, blah. This has nothing to do with Karen Reed. Absolutely nothing to do with Karen Reed. You're going to tell me that this is coincidence. The timing is coincidence, that as soon as these letters are released, Turtle Boy writes a blog about these letters from jail, and the motion that is filed is it's a motion to get Turtle Boy's communication from the outside world completely cut off, and a motion to get someone to listen in on his conversations with his attorney, flushing attorney-client privilege right down the toilet. These are the things that we need to stay focused on, folks. These are the things that actually matter. The things that actually matter. The facts of this stream right here, of everything that we're talking about right now. What really matters, again, this is no different than anything else that we've talked about on this channel. We're talking about people's rights being violated. Right now, Turtle Boy is in jail because his rights were violated. And now they're trying to violate them further by taking away his attorney-client privilege. That is absolutely un-American. 100% un-American. So you're not going to sit here and convince me that all of a sudden, just because Ken Mello says so, that Turtle Boy and Tim Bradle and Jen Altman all conspired, and Karen Reed, they all conspired to taint the jury pool. It's insane to me. It makes no sense. And saying the fact that they couldn't shut him up by putting him in jail, because I thought of this. I was like, now he's in jail. Like, I thought about this. Now he's in jail. And they put him in jail to shut him up. But he's still talking. Hell, he called me right here during a live stream. He was listening to my live stream. The guy has access to watching YouTube videos. He could sit there with a tablet provided to him by the jail and watch my YouTube streams. And call in. So he calls in, you hear his voice for the first time in God knows how long, and he is happier than a pig in shit. He's in jail. He's blogging about his experiences in jail, very similar to what he said here on this channel. And he was talking about how, you got this crazy guy over here and this crazy guy over here, and I'm stoked, and I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, and I got a plan of action for everything that I'm going to do once I get out of here. This is clearly scaring the shit out of the Norfolk County DA. Right now, the Norfolk County DA feels threatened by three things: Karen Reed's defense, Turtle Boy, and the Department of Justice and other federal entities that are investigating the Norfolk County DA. Now, when you ask yourself something like, what would the Norfolk County DA do if they are afraid of these things? Well, I'd say pretty much everything that we're seeing them do. Let's see that. All right. Let's see. Let's see what Mr. Williams says here. Pink, thank you so much. Boston, Mass loves you, Glare. Come visit us soon. That's the plan. I'd like to do that. I would absolutely love to do that. Let's take a listen here.
Hello. Roger. Hey, Mike. Hey. I got a call from Kenneth Mello. He's the special prosecutor, I guess. 686 has that. Anyways, there's some protesters out in front of D&E, so Zeph is going to take a drive-by. Yeah, they can protest. I know, we're just going to take a drive-by. Just get the attorney's course. We just be sure we stop by, take a look. Yeah. So, all right. I'll catch you. Bye-bye.
Slocks.
Hi, Mr. Mello. It's Sergeant Silvesi. I just spoke to you. Oh, one second.
Yes, sir.
1 second, sir. Roger. Band officer swing by. I said there's 4 people like across the street holding signs. Anyways, there's some protesters out in front of D&E, so Zeph is going to take a drive-by.
No, that's the wrong.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. Hi, D&E. Would you mind sending a card down here just to make...
Sergeant Silvesi speaking.
Yes, Sergeant, is that what I have?
Oh, who would you like to speak with, sir?
My name is Ken Mello. I'm a prosecutor with the Norfolk DA's office. Can I speak with your shift commander?
Well, I'm on duty right now. We have a lieutenant, too. But how can I help you?
Okay. There's a protest going on outside D&E. Would you mind sending a car?
He's a special prosecutor in the American dream.
Down here just to make sure that they're
We'll take a look.
not intimidating.
And what's your name again?
My name is Attorney Ken Mello.
And who you working for?
I'm the special prosecutor.
Okay.
Regarding Aiden Kearney.
Got. All right. So the prosecutor, you said there's people outside D&E.
Right.
Okay.
Just have a cruise go by, make sure there's nothing.
We'll check it out.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye bye. D&E.
Right.
Okay.
Just have a cruise go by, make sure there's nothing.
We'll check it out.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye.
Roger. Hey, Mike. I got a call from Kenneth Mello. He's the special prosecutor, I guess.
686 has that.
Yeah, I'm not hearing where he identifies himself as what? What did you say? The Attorney General? No, come on. Hold on. Attorney General. Yeah, I didn't hear that. Let's go through this whole thing because you're not the first person to tell me that. Let's go through the whole thing.
Basic speaking.
Yes, Sergeant, is that all you have?
Who would you like to speak with, sir?
My name is Ken Mello. I'm a prosecutor with the Norfolk DA's office. Can I speak to your shift commander?
Well, I'm on duty right now. We have a lieutenant, too. But how can I help you?
Okay. There's a protest going on outside D&E. Would you mind sending a car down here just to make sure that they're
we'll take a look.
Not intimidating?
And what's your name again?
My name is Attorney Ken Mello.
And who you working for?
I'm the special prosecutor.
Okay.
Regarding Aiden Kearney.
Right.
All right. To the prosecutor, you said there's people outside D&E.
Right.
Okay.
Just have a cruise go by, make sure there's nothing.
We'll check it out.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye bye.
You too. Bye bye.
Yeah, I'm past that point, dude. Or no, right
Roger.
here.
Hey, Mike. I got a call from Kenneth Mello. He's the special prosecutor, I guess.
Special prosecutor.
686 has that.
Okay, we're past that point.
Anyways, there's some protesters out in front of D&E, so Zeph is going to take a drive-by. Yeah, they can protest. I know. We're just going to take a drive-by. Just get the attorney, of course. We just be sure we stop by, take a look. Yeah. So, all right. I'll catch you. Bye-bye.
Slops.
Hi, Mr. Mello. It's Sergeant Silvesi. I just spoke to you. Oh, 1 second.
Yes, sir.
1 second, sir. Roger. Van off just swing by. I said there's 4 people like across the street holding signs. They weren't right in front. They were across the street. They're not impeding traffic, but so it seems kind of mellow. A small group now.
All right. Okay. Very good. If they can just swing by there once in a while, I'd appreciate
we'll keep on making passes. You know.
Very good.
All right.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Sir. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Canton Police Officer Nick's recorded line.
Hi, Officer Nix. This is Attorney Ken Mello. I believe I just spoke with your sergeant there. Is he still available?
He's not.
Yeah, he never said Attorney General. He said this is Attorney Ken Mello.
Just stepped out. Actually, he's walking back in the room, sir. Hold on. Let me put you on hold and I'll have him pick up, okay?
Thanks very much.
You're welcome, sir.
How can I help you?
Hi, Sergeant Ken Mello again.
No problem.
Ken Mello.
Do me a favor. Take a look at Chapter 268, Section 13A.
268.
Dirty motherfucker.
13A.
Okay. I'll go ahead and get a book. 1 second, sir.
Okay. You give me a call back if you want, okay?
Okay, yes, sir, Mr. Mello. All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Mello, Sergeant Silvesi. So it looked up. So what do you want? What are you thinking of doing?
I think we're good enough to charge them, to be honest with you, at least this person.
Wow.
I mean, that's my take on it.
Yeah.
You know, but it looks like they meet every single requirement of that statute.
Okay. So we just go up there. You want us to write a report and try to document who's there?
Yeah, if you could do that. Yeah, please, if you can do that. I mean, I check with your lieutenant. I don't want to, I'm not an officer in your department, but I'm looking at that statute and saying they're across the street. They're certainly near Albert's place.
All right.
He's a witness, and they're certainly there for purposes of influencing or whatever else the statute states.
Yeah.
They're not there for any other reason.
Whatever.
All right.
Whatever.
So it's punishable by no more than a year in prison and a fine of no more than $5,000. So,
correct.
All right. So we go up there. We can try to figure out. I mean, I think we could probably figure out a couple of them. Maybe not all of them who they are, because we can ask them and they can just tell us,
totally
pound sand, not tell them, and we try to find them, see where the cars they go to or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I guess we can go from there and just
sure. I mean, I don't know if you can reach your chief to see how she feels about it, or okay, great. I appreciate it very much, Sergeant.
No problem, sir.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. Yeah. At no point did he say that he was the attorney general. I mean, yeah, he's a dirty motherfucker, but I don't even think he's stupid enough to say that. But y'all are fucking killing me in the chat, dude. I love it. Yeah, this seems like an absolute, again, another railroad job. I just, to me, it's just another dirty method to try to violate Turtle Boy's rights, as well as Karen Reed's. That's how I see it so far. I mean, who knows? The thing is if it were anybody but Ken Mello, this is what's really funny about that. If it were anyone but Ken Mello, I'd be like, I don't think that this guy would say such a thing and file a report like this or file a motion like this without being able to prove these allegations. So, I mean, but excuse me, but no, I this just stinks of pure desperation. It stinks of pure desperation. Like, I don't see how. Yeah, I don't see how this could be interpreted any other way. You've got Turtle Boy totally set up. The woman basically admits that she colluded in setting him up. She basically admits it in open court. And then, yeah, Cherry, you're right. That's why they hired him. Because he's a patsy. He's a fall guy. This guy could do all of the dirty, desperate shit that you can't tie to the DA. Because remember, this is the thing: is you guys are like, well, he still works for the DA. No, this is where his title, special prosecutor, comes into play. Because according to Ken Mello himself, he does not answer as a special prosecutor. He does not answer to anyone. He does not answer to the district attorney. He doesn't answer to Norfolk County DA's office. He gets to do whatever he wants. He's a special prosecutor, contracted. He's an independent contractor, for lack of a better term. That's what a special prosecutor basically is, according to Ken Mello himself. That he gets to do and say whatever he wants without the approval of the district attorney's office. And the fact that he is hired as a special prosecutor by the district attorney's office, and he has the record that he has as an attorney, which is not only basically an almost non-existent record, but a bad one that does exist. What does exist of his record is bad. it's crazy to me. Karen, thank you so much for both of your super stickers. I appreciate it so much. It's very telling to me. I don't see this as anything other than the same type of tactics, dirty tactics, being applied by Ken Mello. I just don't see it. I see. I don't see Tim Bradel being I mean, this would end his career if Tim Bradel is colluding and conspiring with Turtle Boy, Jackson, Yannetti, Karen Reed. If they're all in this conspiracy together to taint the jury pool, well, then Tim Bradel's whole career is fucked. Not just because he did something illegal knowingly, allegedly, but because he's a First Amendment attorney. He prides himself on being a crusader, a champion for the First Amendment. That's what I've seen him do so far. I've seen this guy publicly just basically be a champion for not just Turtle Boy's First Amendment rights, but everyone else's. Every time the guy speaks publicly. Every single time. So why in the shit would this guy do something as dirty as try to deliberately taint a jury pool in a case that he's not even involved in? I just don't see it. Like, I just don't see it. Like, and how do you get that from him saying, well, Jennifer Altman is an attorney? From a simple slip of the tongue of something of misspeaking. And why, if this took place on the 28th of December, why are we just hearing about it, I don't know, the day after Turtle Boy writes a blog about these letters involving an investigation into the Norfolk DA's office? I mean, we're just gonna assume that that's the case. We're just gonna assume that Ken Mello's got him. I just don't buy it, man. I don't buy any of this shit. I mean, Ken Mello has a track record so far of simply being a dirty fuck who wants to trample all over everyone's First Amendment rights. And now he wants to trample all over attorney-client privilege, which is insane. Like, there's a reason why it's unprecedented, right? The reason why it's unprecedented is because no attorney would ever risk their career on filing such an insane motion asking a judge to deny someone their basic right of attorney-client privilege. That's fucking nuts. No way. No way. And only a fuck up like Ken Mello would be brazen enough to try that. Because here we are, and there's all these people all over Twitter right now, and all these people in the chat right now that are thinking that this is somehow this massive, insane, horrible development in this case, and this changes everything. It doesn't change anything, people, because the motion still has to be approved by the judge. The judge has to pass it. The judge has to be like, he has to sign off on it. The judge has to be like, okay, all right, sure. Let's assign a babysitter to sit with Turtle Boy and his attorney and spy. Oh, I wouldn't put him past it at this point. I wouldn't put him past that at this point, Steve. I wouldn't put it past him. I love the Kurt Angle. I love the Kurt Angle avatar though. But I mean, that's great and everything, but.
And his name is John C.
Why did they take Karen Reed's phones? They took Karen Reed's phones. Okay, now understand, it wasn't Lolly that was behind Karen Reed's house being searched and allegedly being searched and her 2 phones being seized. Could have been that they just asked her to turn over her phones and she was like, cool, here. I don't know the circumstances of what happened, but this was also Mello. Mello took Karen Reed's phones because I think that he is trying to connect Karen Reed to Turtle Boy. Otherwise, why else? I mean, it would make no sense. But I think that that's what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to prove jury pool tampering. You see what I deal with as far as Cherry goes? Do you see what I deal with? Cherry wants me to get implicated in some way. But you know what, Cherry? If I go down, you go down. Totally kidding. Oh my God, there we go. Now everybody's gonna go, oh, see? Claire's in on it. In on what? I don't know, but he's in on it. But yeah. So that's where I'm at on this. This is all this motion. I would be shocked if it were approved by the judge. I would be absolutely shocked. But I think mostly what Ken Mello really wants to do, what he truly wants to do here, is shut Turtle Boy up, because Turtle Boy is able to, and not Ken Mello though, because even though he doesn't answer to the DA, dude, he's still under the DA's employ. Give me a fucking break if you think that Ken Mello is not taking orders from the DA. Give me a fucking break if you think that Ken Mello isn't taking orders from the Alberts. Yeah. You know how I know that? Because we just listened to a phone call of Ken Mello getting the Canton 9 charged with a crime for picketing across the street of D&E Pizza ran by Chris Albert, who sits on the Canton Select Board. So you're going to tell me, that phone call tells you everything. That phone call absolutely dictates the fact that Chris Albert called Ken Mello. Ken Mello is a do-boy for the Alberts, and Ken Mello called the Canton PD and had those people charged. So, dude, there's only one conspiracy here, folks. There is only one conspiracy here. I mean, give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. You're going to sit there and you're going to try to tell me and convince me that Ken Mello isn't taking orders from the Alberts. I don't think I don't think that the Alberts have anything against Morrissey. Oh, I think what you mean is what do they have on Morrissey? I don't know. That's venturing into waters that I'm not going to get into because I don't have anything to base that on. All I know is it is insane to think that Chris Albert didn't direct Ken Mello to call the Canton PD and have the Canton 9 charged with a crime. And coincidentally, not coincidentally though, the same crime that Turtle Boy was originally charged with, the same one, and Ken Mello happens to be the special prosecutor in Turtle Boy's case. But no, none of this is connected, right? Even though it was Ken Mello that had Karen Reed's phones seized. Come on, people, wake up. Use your eyes, because it's absolutely something dirty is going on here. Thank you so much, Lou Lemorocco. Appreciate it. What defense links? What are you grabbing there, Cherry? I don't know what you're talking about. Oh yeah, the defense links. Yeah. So Cherry is going to grab the links for the Turtle Boy and Canton 9 defense funds. So if you guys want to donate, and you are highly encouraged to do so, click on those that Cherry is going to drop in the chat and help those folks out, because they are fighting a massive machine. Because again, let me explain to you what's going on here. The law, what is it? Chapter 28, Chapter 28, sections 13A and 13B that they were charged with, where you cannot picket outside of a, picket near a potential witness in a case. Well, that law is un-American. I don't think that law exists anywhere else but in Massachusetts. And that law is absolutely un-American. And that is what they are fighting. So don't be surprised if this goes all the way to the Supreme Court, because they're fighting, they're not fighting Ken Mello per se. They're fighting the law that Ken Mello is applying to prosecute them with. The law itself is un-American. The law itself is an absolute violation of First Amendment rights. So yeah, Cherry did drop those links there. You are encouraged to donate and help them out, because if you're doing so, you are doing so in the fight for your First Amendment rights, not just Turtle Boys, not just the Canton 9s, but yours as well. If you are people who, who gather and picket outside of the courthouse during Karen Reed's hearings, this affects you, because you could absolutely be charged with the same crime. And if you are people who wish that you were local and you could be out there and help and picket and protest outside of Karen Reed's hearings, then if you can't be there, then what you can do is donate to these defense funds, because those defense funds are absolutely fighting for your right. Because if that could happen in Canton, that could happen anywhere. That can happen anywhere. Tomorrow's hearing is like the last one. as far as I know. Yeah, tomorrow is a hearing for Turtle Boy. I don't think it's going to be televised or anything like that or streamed, unless the town does it. But if it is being streamed, then I'll stream it. Deanna Facio, thank you so much as always. Why does the defense need to argue motions in court to get cell phones, and Mello seems to just get them? I don't know. All I know is he had to have filed a motion for that, and I'd love to get a hold of that motion. He had to have filed a motion for that. I don't see how, because that's what I'm very curious about that too, and I'm glad you brought that up, Deanna. I'm very curious as to what grounds he was able to get Karen Reed's cell phone seized. Let me keep checking here. Yeah, I don't have another I don't have any updates on that. Boston Mike kills me, bro. Boston Mike just blasts fucking every single Twitter thread with fucking insane gifs. Boston Mike kills me, bro. He just blasts everything. Yeah, I'm dying to know what led up to Karen Reed's phones being seized. I want to know what the process was on that. Because that's definitely something that that's definitely something I'm interested in. Like, he had to have had grounds for that. You know what I mean? Unless there's some sort of technicality that exists based on the fact that she's already being charged. Right. Good point, Kevin. His cell phones can't be looked at under a court order for now, but hers can. I don't know. I know that that's a question. I don't know. But why they seized her phones and what but I know what they're looking at. I know what they're trying to find. What they're trying to find is communication. If Ken Mello is the one who had her phone seized, he's trying to find a connection between her and Turtle Boy. And I assure you that if there's any communication, any direct, even indirect communication between Turtle Boy and Karen Reed, meaning that if Bradle contacted Karen Reed, if Jennifer Altman contacted Karen Reed, if this Courtney person contacted Karen Reed, anybody who is in direct contact with Turtle Boy and turns out to be in direct contact with Karen Reed, they're going to try to twist that and use that and say that they are colluding together to taint Karen Reed's jury pool. I guarantee it. I wish I could look at Coffindoffer's tweets right now. I don't know who Kevin Reddington is. Well, the reason why that would matter is Tyrone is because they want to. They're desperate. I mean, right now, Karen Reed's case is on the cusp of being thrown out of court. Okay, Coffindoffer starting a podcast. I don't know if it's going to be on YouTube or not, but I heard she's starting a podcast. Well, I don't know if you've lived under a rock this entire time, but yeah, Karen Reed has been in trouble. That's why we're all here. That's why we're all here. But no, if her phones are being seized via an order of Ken Mello, who's not assigned to her case but assigned to Turtle Boys, it only makes sense that he's trying to prove some sort of collusion between the two of them in likely tainting the jury pool. That's what he's trying to prove. Likely he's trying to prove. I think that the DA is absolutely desperate at this point. Because Yannetti wiped the floor with Lolly. And I know he said Yali on my last, I got corrected. I said Yali on my last stream. It's because I had a coworker named Yali and my head got him mixed up. But yes, Lolly got the floor wiped with him by Yannetti. And it's apparent. It's out there. Those letters were released since that hearing, and it's out there. It is out there that the Norfolk County DA's office is absolutely being investigated by the Department of Justice. I mean, this is just insane, dude. That's also a really good question, Yaya Marie. I don't know. I'm sure it could possibly. I'm sure a motion could be filed that her bail get revoked. I'm sure it could. But again, this all stinks of desperation. If you look at this in the grand scheme of all things, right? It just everything that's happening that's even connected to the DA's office it stinks of desperation. You just have to look at it like for what it is. The timing of all these things cannot be a coincidence, folks. They just can't be. So, you guys want to see something really fucked up? This is completely off the subject.
This is completely off the subject, but let me see if this is.
Yes! I like it.
Okay, that is some footage there of one of the Alberts looking out the window of January 29th. No, that wasn't what I was looking for. This, hold on, let me see if I can find this thing. This blew my mind. This blew my mind when I saw this, but I don't think that hold on a second. This is what the internet has come to, which is just insane. That's if I can find it. But oh yeah. Okay, hold on. Oh, did they take it down? I feel like they probably took it down. Okay. Okay. This is actually, okay, people, this is actually a real kids. This isn't a joke. I thought it was a skit. I thought this was a skit. Okay, this is completely off the subject, but I thought this was like a bit, but it's by a channel called Impatient Productions LLC. It's a real thing, and this is what they're putting out there for kids to watch. And so check this out.
People are generally, oh my God, I can't watch that. Since people are in general very reactionary to stuff.
Oh, wait,
myself included.
I think they might have taken it down. Hold on. I don't want to watch the reaction to it. Oh, yeah, they did take it down. Oh, my God. Okay. Yeah, so this is the Quartering's reaction to it, but hold on.
Well, it turns out this is a part of a pediatrics. Oh my God, they have a page for pediatrics.
Nice job, folks. This is really complete. I mean, you really put some work into it. So, this is an audible attaboy. Thanks.
Y'all fucking weird. Y'all are fucking weird.
Oh, this is a voicemail. I thought it was okay to pass away today, so I was wondering if you guys wanted to pass the fuck away. I mean, you know, it's a honorable ascension or whatever bullshit you're promoting. Why don't you just take a fucking needle and shove it up your fucking pee hole and inject that shit into yourself and kill your
Why would they
fucking
post
self?
this?
And then everybody on the planet would sing, it's okay for you to pass the fuck away, you sick motherfuckers.
Wow.
Scumbag piece of shit.
That's so fucking funny. Not sure this is a message or not, but this is Dr. Roberts calling to say, job well done. Let's keep this going.
What's wild about this?
So they banned it. Okay.
Why I support it.
It was
is
up
because
yesterday. That's why I couldn't
Well, it's
find
actually
it.
hilarious, but it's also sad. It's perfect. It's perfect in every way because this stuff is actually happening. Like I said, at thepublica.com, there's an article that we just published today that's going getting really good traction on Twitter right now, and X, from Natasha Biazzi about, Canada medical assistance, wanting to be able to be available to 12-year-olds. If you don't think that this is coming to America.
Okay, so what that is there's a video that they showed to kids who are terminally ill saying that it's okay to die. Insane, like a Barney video almost, where they're telling kids that it's okay to pass on. And there's a song by Uncle Ernie here. I wonder if I can find, like, maybe somebody else posted it. No, that's just the yeah, they took it down. They banned it. But they put up the reviews for it, which is really weird that they would do that. But yeah, that was just, I was off the subject, but I meant to record it and I couldn't. And I don't think I did. Hold on. Oh yeah. See, I did record it, but I can't play it. It's not letting me play it. So, okay. Well, okay. Back to what we were talking about. Yeah, that's the country we're living in, folks, where you can I mean, they want to suppress your First Amendment rights to actually try to prove an innocent woman to be innocent. But it's okay to make videos, kids videos, to remind them that it's okay to die. Awesome. So now, yeah, it just is what it is. What are you going to do? Yeah, it's a crazy world we live in. But the problem is that we can't cherry pick, the things that are okay for free speech and the things that aren't. You're going to see things that you don't like, is the point. You're going to see things and you're going to hear things that don't mesh with your opinions. And it's just how it is. And no matter what it is, you have the right to say it. You have the right to say it. Let's see. They're going to try to get her bail revoked, but her in jail to wear her down. Wear her down for what? Like a confession? I mean, the thing is there's no fucking way, people. There is no way on God's green earth that you would ever get me. Let's say I'm guilty, dude. Let's say I'm Karen Reed, and let's say I'm guilty, right? There's no way on God's green earth that you are ever going to get me to confess to this crime. considering how this investigation was conducted. There is absolutely no way. With everything that I know about how this investigation was conducted, there's no fucking way. For months and months and months and months and months and months. Okay? There's no way. For months and months of hearing my attorneys tell me that this, give me all these different little details of how this investigation was conducted. There's no way. I mean, even if I lost my attorneys, let's say Jackson and Yannetti get disbarred, right? Let's say that they tainted the jury pool, right? Let's say they did that. Let's say that they colluded to taint the jury pool. I don't think they did. I don't think they'd be that stupid. But let's just say that they did, right? I mean, even does that change? Does that take away from the fact that this investigation was conducted in one of the most nefarious ways that I've ever seen any investigation conducted, if not the most nefarious way that I've ever seen an investigation conducted? I mean, I just don't see it. And a lot of you guys are saying this very same thing. Morrissey tainted the jury pool. I mean, by releasing that public statement, was that unethical? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. All I know is that he fucking lied. That was unethical. That public statement that he put out there that we went over yesterday, he absolutely lied in every possible way. So many untruths. So many untruths. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's watch that one more time.
This will be the first statement of its kind in my dozen years as Norfolk District Attorney.
So right here, he's already admitting this right here.
This will be the first statement of its kind in my dozen years as Norfolk District Attorney.
He's already stating he's never even done that before. I've never even heard, I've covered so many cases. I've never heard of a district attorney making a public statement like this, trying to get in front of everything, going, hey, wait a minute. Like, the only reason they would do that is if they're scared.
The harassment of witnesses in the murder prosecution of Karen Reed is absolutely baseless. It should be an outrage to any decent person, and it needs to stop. Innuendo is not evidence. False narratives are not evidence. However, what evidence does show is that John O'Keefe never entered the home at 34 Fairview Road in Canton the night he died. Location data from his phone, recovered from the lawn beneath his body when he was transported to the hospital, shows that this phone did not enter that home. 11 people have given statements that they did not see John O'Keefe enter the home at 34 Fairview that night. 0 people have said that they saw him enter the home. 0. No one. Some have, without any evidence, pointed to 18-year-old Colin Albert, a nephew of the homeowner, and accused him of attacking John O'Keefe as he entered the home. But phone evidence shows O'Keefe never entered the home at all. Testimony from witnesses tell us that 18-year-old Colin Albert had left his uncle's home before John O'Keefe and Karen Reed had arrived outside the residence. There was no fight inside that home. John O'Keefe did not enter the home. Colin Albert, the young man being vilified, was not present when Reed's vehicle and John O'Keefe arrived on the street. This is a false narrative. Colin Albert didn't commit murder. Jennifer McCabe, Matthew McCabe, and Brian Albert. These people were not part of a conspiracy and certainly did not commit murder or any crime that night. They have been forthcoming with authority, providing statements, and have not engaged in any cover-up. They are not suspects in any crime. They are merely witnesses in the case. To have them accused of murder is outrageous. To have them harassed and intimidated based on false narratives and accusations is wrong. They are witnesses doing what our justice system asks of them. The autopsy of John O'Keefe was conducted by a forensic pathologist from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner. The doctor found that the injuries that left John helpless in the cold were not a result of a fight. She further found that the line of abrasions on his arm was consistent with blunt trauma, not an animal attack.
Wow.
A grand jury of everyday citizens heard the documented evidence and testimony before making a decision. The subject of that murder indictment enjoys the constitutional presumption of innocence. Why should the witnesses who have committed no crime be afforded less by members of the community? They should not be harassed for telling the government what they heard or saw. I'm asking the Canton community and everyone who feels invested in this case to hear all the actual evidence at trial before assigning guilt to people who have done nothing wrong. And certainly before taking it upon yourself to harass citizens who evidence shows have done nothing in this matter but come forward and bear witness. We try people in the court and not on the internet for a reason. The internet has no rules of evidence. The internet has no punishment for perjury. And the internet does not know all the facts. Conspiracy theories are not evidence. The idea that multiple police department, EMTs, fire personnel, the medical examiner, and prosecuting agencies are joined in or taken in by a vast conspiracy should be seen for what it is, completely contrary to the evidence and a desperate attempt to reassign guilt. Michael Proctor, the state police trooper, being accused of planting evidence outside 34 Fairview Road, was never at Fairview Road on the day of the incident. Proctor and his state police partner traveled together the entire day while other officers were processing 34 Fairview. Trooper Proctor was not there and did not plant evidence at 34 Fairview Road. In addition to having no evidence, Michael Proctor, the state police trooper, being accused of planting evidence outside 34 Fairview Road, was never at Fairview Road on the day of the incident. Proctor and his state police partner traveled together the entire day while other officers were processing 34 Fairview. Trooper Proctor was not there and did not plant evidence at 34 Fairview Road. In addition to having no opportunity to plant the evidence, as has been suggested, Proctor would have no motive to do so. Trooper Proctor had no close personal relationship with any of the parties involved in the investigation and had no conflict. And he had no reason to step out of this investigation. Every suggestion to the contrary is a lie. This should be seen for what it is and not used as a pretext to attack and harass others. What is happening to the witnesses, some with no actual involvement in the case, is wrong. It is contrary to the American values of fairness and the constitutional value of a fair trial. It needs to stop now. I am releasing this recorded statement rather than holding a news conference because my remarks need to be so narrowly tailored to the issue at hand while the prosecution is pending in Superior Court. But the message is the same. What is happening to these innocent people, these witnesses, is wrong and it needs to stop.
Okay, man. Okay, man. Like, we already know that this dude straight up lied in that public statement. How are we supposed to take anything that he says or anything that comes from his office seriously or with any merit. I mean, how are we supposed to do that? How are we supposed to take Ken Mello seriously, especially Ken Mello? How are we supposed to take anything that he does or says seriously at this point? It needs to stop. Dude, so he's... It needs to stop. Unbelievable. Let's see. Glare, normally it's policy of prosecution not to make statements such as this for investigations, especially investigations of murder investigations involving a police officer. Right. I mean, not only is everything that we're seeing, because this word gets thrown around a lot, unprecedented, right? This is unprecedented for any murder investigation, but much less the investigation of a police officer. I mean, to me, that's absolutely fucking insane. And yet nobody, not nobody, but I'm saying, like, there are people, it's just so funny because then you have the people who are like, no, with all their word salad, like Plevin and Grant. I mean, and they have these blind followers, and everybody who disputes this shit is under a sock account on Twitter, spreading insane lies about anybody who speaks up about this. It's crazy. And it doesn't even matter. Like, what's funny is, like, people say the craziest shit about me on Twitter, and I'm just like, okay. Because I don't care. Because look who it's coming from. But I mean, all you have to do is just look at this. Like, nobody in the slightest bit with any credibility whatsoever. Because the dude who sounds the most intelligent, the one person who sounds the most intelligent, who speaks on behalf, or at least who speaks in favor of the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, the one person who even remotely sounds intelligent decided to tweet that he smokes weed in order to stop his ass from bleeding. That's a real thing. That happened for real. Grant Smith Ellis tweeted that he smokes pot because his asshole bleeds uncontrollably. It's insane. Dude, I'm telling... Okay. Deets on the streets is like, what? Hold, please. Give me 1 second here. Hold on. I'm getting there. Hold on. It's so fucking funny to me, dude. It's so funny to me. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Sorry, guys. He probably took it down. That's probably why I couldn't find it on my I gave him enough shit for it. No pun intended. Yeah, I think he took it down. It was just so funny, dude. Okay, hold on. No. Yeah, I think he took it down. I don't blame him for taking it down, honestly. I really don't. I really don't blame him. Stop it. Stop it, Cherry. Oh my God. Is it still up? Why can't I find it? Okay, maybe it's under mine. Hold on. Yeah, I'm still not seeing it. No, he didn't block me because I could still see his posts. So yeah, just a bunch of well, I can't find it. Oh no, I found it. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. I got it. So he puts, let's clear something up right now. It's not okay to tell somebody with colitis who will quite literally bleed from their colon if they do not take their medicine before they eat the few calories their body can tolerate per day. How to take their medicine in line with the law, and which is a response to Suzanne saying, "Cops keep smoking pot right in front of the courthouse." So his excuse for smoking pot in front of the courthouse is that he has colitis and that he bleeds from his asshole if he doesn't smoke weed, which is just fucking fantastic. I love it. I love it. And this is the most intelligent one. Like I'll go out on a limb and say that Grant Smith Ellis is the most intelligent one. Like, I'll put him above Coffindoffer, like far above Coffindoffer. He's the most intelligent one that is discussing the Karen Reed case, who sides with the Norfolk County DA. And this is a guy who but e-begged. Like, e-begged. It's insane. Like, totally e-begged for food money when, I mean, let's also, we're going to go over some other fun stuff here in just a minute, once we get past this. But he, at one point, begged for money. Saying that he doesn't want to be a burden to his family, so please donate money to him. And I can't really find it right now. But sat there, and I mean, this is him right here. I mean, he's sitting there smoking a blunt on a live stream, and he begged for money because he's starving. I mean, dude, like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with smoking weed. You smoke weed, you smoke weed. In my opinion, who cares, right? I mean, that's great, but don't beg people for money publicly, and smoke blunt after blunt on a live stream and act like you're hungry. You know, munchies is not having the munchies is not hunger, bro. Okay? This is what he says here. Hello, friends, old and new. As a reminder, none of the work that I do is for money. And I do not take donations for specific stories. However, I do run out of money for food some months, and I don't want to be more of a burden on my family, so please consider a general donation. I give my all every day and just do a good job of caring about, just don't do a good job about caring about myself, and for that, I apologize. So why should anybody else have to pay for that? Like, I don't I don't understand. So this is the capability of logic coming from the smartest person covering the Karen Reed case that believes that Karen Reed is guilty and is doing everything he can to make sure Turtle Sorry about that. Yeah, doing everything he can to make sure Turtle Boy stays locked up, which is just fucking hilarious to me. So Turtle Boy claims that past the gravy Morrissey asked for no fewer than 10 attorneys before he found one willing to act as special prosecutor in the senseless case against Turtle Boy. Enter Ken Mello, the only attorney brave, stupid enough to take this on. So that's the rumor, is that Ken Mello was like the last resort for the district attorney's office of Norfolk County. That he was the last resort. That's the common consensus, the general consensus. And then here you go. This is from Turtle Boy's blog. Now, I don't normally go over Turtle Boy's blogs because I know they're very opinionated. Because I try to just stick to facts, but this is a document that he shared here. So, right here is one of Ken Mello's reprimands. As set forth below, the respondent received a public reprimand for neglecting the interests of two clients in unrelated matters. In the first case, the respondent was retained by a client to file and prosecute a personal injury action. Over the next 3 years, the respondent performed very little work of substance on the case. With the statute of limitations looming, he did file a complaint in the Superior Court. However, a judgment, hold on one second. Thank you so much, Wendy Williams. How can Proctor be lead investigator and never go to a crime scene the day of the crime? That's a good question. I don't know how that works necessarily. But I do know that Proctor had 5 undocumented searches of the property where he found pieces of taillight. So why not document them? Which is very interesting. And thank you so much, Wendy Williams. I appreciate it. Now, this goes on to say, with the statute of limitations looming, blah, 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 blah. Okay, the respondent did not advise his client. This is Ken Mello we're talking about. The respondent did not advise his client of the judgment, nisi, or take any other action in response to it. As a result, the lawsuit was dismissed without prejudice. The respondent never informed his client of the dismissal. The client ultimately contacted the court on her own and learned of the dismissal for the first time. In summary, the respondent's incompetent representation of his client, his failure to pursue the lawsuit resulting in dismissal, and his failure to inform his client of the dismissal violated. So, yeah, I went over all of this stuff in my stream about Ken Mello. In the second case, now this is a court document, people. This is the document of his reprimand by the bar. In the second case, the respondent was retained by a client. This is a fun one here, folks. Retained by a client to represent him in a criminal matter pending against him in the Superior Court. The matter went to trial, after which the client was convicted and sentenced to prison. The respondent timely advised the client of his possible appellate options. Oh, God. Hold on. Sorry. He also informed the client that he needed to obtain new counsel for any appeal. He did not, however, return the client's file in order to enable him to pursue the appeal itself or retain other counsel. Or retain other counsel in a criminal case that has gone to trial, is responsible for that perfecting and prosecuting the appeal unless counsel is relieved of the responsibility after hearing a motion to withdraw. The client later demanded the return of his files, but the respondent did not comply until bar counsel opened an investigation into the issue. In summary, the respondent's failure to notice of appeal or alternatively obtain the allowance of a motion to withdraw promptly returned his client's files, violated Massachusetts, blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. So he basically just screwed. He basically just screwed this guy. This guy sitting in prison, didn't do his job for this guy, still had the files that were needed for him to be properly represented. And so this guy gets other counsel that's going to take on his case and try to get the guy to fight his case from prison. And he just sits on these files. He never gives the files to the next attorney, never gives this client, this former client, an opportunity to properly defend themselves. So, I mean, this is the kind of guy we're dealing with. Think about that. This is the kind of guy that filed this insane motion that we're here talking about today. This insane motion that he wants Turtle Boy and his privileges to speak to the outside world cut off, and he wants his conferences with his attorney, any conversation with his attorney, with a third party, a court-appointed third party, to sit in and listen. And listen. So basically, a court-appointed spy to listen in on conversations that should be privileged between Turtle Boy and his attorney, Bradle. I mean, people, if you were wondering, well, I don't know, man, why would an attorney be that fucking dirty? There's no way that there's anything dirty behind that. Well, if you look at the stuff that this guy was reprimanded for, of course it's dirty. Of course it merits questioning whether or not this is on the up and up. I mean, and how is a judge not going to just be like, listen, dude, I fucking heard about you, bro. I looked into you, and this, there's no way I'm going to let you do this for one more hearing, bro. This is done. Yeah. It's unbelievable. So, folks, I'm definitely of the opinion that the timing of all this is all a little bit too inconvenient for Karen Reed, inconvenient for Turtle Boy. But at the end of the day, I don't see how this isn't just chalked up to just a simple mistake. We know that there was no nefarious shit going on between Jen Altman and Bradle. We saw the text message thread between Bradle and Jen Altman is absolutely distraught with all of the negative attention that she's getting, all of the messages that she's getting, and took screenshots of her text thread between her and Bradle. And Bradle is basically saying it was a slip of the tongue. I misspoke. I'm sorry. You know, this is going to cause her a lot of stress and a lot of problems, but you know, unfortunately, I hope things get better for her. I think it sucks for her that this is happening, but at the same time, you know, it kind of proves, at least that text thread kind of proves, that there was no conspiracy here between her, Turtle Boy, and Bradle, and much less a conspiracy between her, Turtle Boy, Bradle, and Karen Reed. I mean, this is absolutely fucking insane. But the motion still has to be approved by the judge. I don't think it will be, and I think this is just another desperate attempt by Ken Mello, but more importantly, a desperate attempt by the Norfolk County DA's office, who I believe is absolutely directing, puppet mastering Ken Mello. And not only do I think that the Norfolk County DA is doing so, I think the Alberts are doing so. I have more reason to believe that the Alberts are doing so, simply because Ken Mello ends up calling the Canton PD directly as a response to a complaint from D&E Pizza, which is run by Chris Albert. I mean, you have to be blind. You have to be fucking blind not to see this, folks. But we'll see how this plays out. We'll see how this plays out. But I am going to go ahead and wrap this up, folks. I appreciate all you guys joining me. I wouldn't worry too much about it, at least not yet. I could see that this is like everybody's kind of up in arms about it and freaking out. I honestly wouldn't panic over it. I don't think that Ken Mello, or I'm sorry, I don't think that Turtle Boy and especially Bradle would be stupid enough to try to deliberately taint a jury pool or have a hand in deliberately tainting a jury pool. And I don't think that any one of them would actually have, I don't think that Bradle had some sort of, there was any conspiracy between Bradle and Turtle Boy and Jen Altman to harass victims and harass witnesses. It just doesn't add up. You know, I mean, the bottom line is he's writing from jail because he's been given the means to be able to do so, and he's keeping up with his livelihood while he's in jail. And now this is just an attempt to shut him up that much further because they thought that throwing him in jail would shut him up. Apparently it didn't. Clearly it didn't. And now that he wrote his opinions on this blog just after these letters were released that absolutely indicate, at the very least, that there is an investigation looking into the Norfolk County DA's office by the Department of Justice and other entities, other federal entities. Well, then, I mean, this is all a little too convenient. So I don't think that this is in any way a conspiracy. It just boils down to the simple fact that Turtle Boy is expressing his opinions and writing and keeping up with his livelihood while he's in jail and still speaking up on things that he feels passionate about, that we all are here because we feel passionate about them, and they don't like it. It's inconvenient to them. So they're using and abusing their power to be able to rob someone of their First Amendment rights. That is all this boils down to. That is all this boils down to. So anyway, and you know what? Let's say Karen Reed and Turtle Boy spoke. Let's say they did, right? I mean, I don't think they did. According to Turtle Boy, they didn't. But does that mean that they were tainting a jury pool? No. I mean, what if Turtle Boy's just contacting Karen Reed and saying, hey, I support you. I've got a lot of people. There's a lot of people that are supporting you in all of this. So keep your head up. I mean, I do that shit all the time. I do that shit with my channel. I said that shit to Turtle Boy directly when he called into this show. And I was like, hey, we're all behind you. We're all pulling for you. Keep your head up. Hang in there. Does that mean that I'm colluding with Turtle Boy? Fuck no. Fuck no. I can't show support to somebody who I don't think is doing anything wrong. So what the fuck does it matter if he was in direct contact with Karen Reed or not? How is that in any way, shape, or form proof that they colluded to taint the jury pool? Unless you see direct text messages between the two of them where they're saying we're going to fucking taint the jury pool, then I don't think you have anything. Norfolk County DA's office, Ken Mello, I don't think you have shit. I think you're just desperate and trying to postpone the inevitable, which is Karen Reed's case being kicked right out. Done. Over with. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you joining me. I love you guys very much. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It means a lot to me. It really helps out the channel. And I love you guys a lot. All your support means a lot to me. Make sure, if you can, to please donate to the legal defense fund of both the Canton 9 and Turtle Boy, because what's happening to them is absolutely an injustice, and it is absolutely a violation of their First Amendment rights, which puts your First Amendment rights in danger. So please consider that. Guys, I love you very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.